My family found ourselves in a challenging situation in New York City. The virus was spreading rapidly, and the city had become an epicenter of cases. Fear and uncertainty gripped the entire population, and staying in our urban apartment became increasingly risky. With the number of COVID-19 cases skyrocketing and everyone around us filled with anxiety, my parents made a critical decision. We needed to leave the city to protect our family's health. Fortunately, my grandparents owned a beautiful lake house in a secluded area of Wisconsin, a place they typically used during part of the year when they weren't at their Florida home. The house had been vacant at that time, making it the perfect refuge for us. Our decision was swift, and we packed our bags, not knowing how long we would be away from our beloved city. The journey to Wisconsin was filled with uncertainty, but when we arrived at the lake house, a collective sigh of relief washed over us. It was a serene and picturesque setting, far removed from the chaos and fear that had engulfed New York City. It was almost as if the virus had no presence in that tranquil haven. The lake house was nestled near a small town, surrounded by dense woods. It offered us a sense of isolation that we desperately needed during those trying times. There was an array of outdoor activities available to us: fishing, kayaking, hiking, and swimming. It was a welcome distraction from the distressing news and confinement we had experienced in the city. For my brother and me, the change was significant. We attended virtual school in the mornings, but the afternoons were ours to explore the natural beauty that surrounded us. The routine offered a sense of normalcy in an otherwise tumultuous period. However, the tranquility of our newfound sanctuary was shattered one evening. My brother and I, accompanied by our parents, decided to venture to a nearby lookout point to watch the sunset over the water. As we returned home, darkness descended rapidly, and our sense of security was compromised when we discovered that the front door was unlocked. Apprehension crept over us, and my dad, taking security seriously, asked my mom if she had locked the door before we left. She believed she had, but the rush to leave might have led to an oversight. We cautiously entered the house, assuming it was a simple mistake. As night fell, I decided to unwind in my room, watching my favorite TV show. To my surprise, I received an airdrop notification on my phone, which I assumed was from my brother, sharing a meme. Little did I know, the video that began playing was far from innocuous. At first, the video was blurry, and I struggled to decipher its contents. However, as it continued to play, I recognized something chilling. It was a view from inside my closet. My favorite yellow dress with blue flowers hung there, captured in the eerie footage. A cold shiver ran down my spine, and my heart raced as the realization hit me. Someone had been inside my closet, recording me without my knowledge. Struggling to maintain composure, I quietly left my room and approached my parents, showing them the disturbing video. Fear and unease filled the room as we processed the implications of the intrusion. My dad, taking immediate action, instructed my mom to bring my brother into their bedroom, while he retrieved a firearm that was stored nearby. With the weapon in hand, he ventured into the dark unknown to confront the intruder. Minutes felt like hours as we waited in tense silence, our imaginations running wild. Suddenly, we heard my dad's voice raised in anger and multiple gunshots. Panic gripped us, and we feared for his safety. However, relief washed over us when he returned unharmed. He recounted the harrowing encounter. The intruder had attempted to attack him, but had backed off upon seeing the firearm. My dad chased the intruder out of the house and fired warning shots into the air to deter him. We promptly reported the incident to the police, but the identity of the intruder remained a mystery, haunting our thoughts long after that fateful night. During the initial outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, I was living in a small town in upstate New York with my guardian, Sarah. The early days of the pandemic were characterized by panic and confusion, with store shelves rapidly emptying and essential supplies becoming scarce. Despite the risks, it became clear that we needed to venture out to obtain crucial provisions. Sarah, a dedicated nurse, had her hands full with her demanding job at a local hospital as they dealt with the increasing number of patients. Given the circumstances, I decided to take on the responsibility of going to the grocery store myself. Equipped with a face mask and a resolute spirit, I embarked on a journey to the nearest grocery store, which was a few miles away. However, what I encountered was truly astonishing. The line outside the grocery store stretched around the block, a testament to the scarcity of essential items. I joined the queue, hoping that there would still be supplies available by the time I reached the entrance. While waiting in line, I struck up conversations with fellow shoppers who were also anxiously awaiting their turn. It was during these discussions that I learned the grim reality. The store had run out of supplies. To maintain order and prevent chaos, they had prepared identical boxes of essentials for everyone in line. Each box contained the same basic necessities, including toilet paper, toothpaste, canned goods, and other staples. As I inched closer to the front of the line, an employee made a disheartening announcement. The store had completely exhausted its supplies. My disappointment was palpable, given the long wait I had endured. I turned to leave, recognizing that my mission had been in vain when something unexpected happened. The store manager, who knew me as a regular customer, signaled for me to enter through a side door. When I approached him, he handed me a package, explaining that it was the last of the supplies reserved for employees. Grateful for his generosity, I made my way back home with the precious package in hand. Along the way, I encountered a desperate man who had clearly been scouring the town for groceries without success. He had 4 children at home, hungry and in need of sustenance. He implored me to give him the box of food. My heart ached for his situation, but our own pantry at home was nearly empty, and Sarah and I needed the groceries to survive. I apologized to him and explained our predicament, but he persisted, reaching out to grasp my arm. I managed to extricate myself from his grip and sprinted back to our small home, securing the door behind me. I immediately texted Sarah and called 911, recounting the terrifying encounter and requesting police assistance. While on the phone with 911, I heard persistent knocking at our door. Peering through the peephole, I saw the same man, now brandishing a long-bladed knife, tapping it menacingly on our door. Fear coursed through me as I relayed the escalating threat to the dispatcher. The man continued to threaten us, and his actions grew more aggressive. Eventually, he began stabbing the wooden door with the knife in a frenzied attempt to gain entry. My heart raced, and I knew that time was of the essence. Fortunately, the police arrived just in the nick of time. They confronted the man, who resisted arrest, and after a brief struggle, they managed to subdue and apprehend him. It was evident that he was under the influence of some substance. The year 2020 will forever be etched in my memory as the time when the pandemic transformed my high school life, pushing classes into the virtual realm. My family lived in the midst of the bustling urban landscape, and both my parents held critical roles. My mother was a dedicated healthcare worker, and my father served as a firefighter, ever ready to face emergencies. With the pandemic-induced changes, my sister and I often found ourselves navigating the challenges of virtual learning while our parents fulfilled their essential duties. The apartment became our sanctuary, a place of refuge amidst the chaos of the outside world. But one evening, our refuge was disrupted by strange noises emanating from the apartment directly above ours. Our neighbor, who we'll refer to as Emily, had always been known for her quiet, introverted nature. These unusual sounds raised red flags and filled us with unease. Concern for Emily's safety gnawed at us, compelling us to take action. We decided to check on her welfare. Our knocks on her door yielded no response, and as we tentatively pushed the door, we were met with the sight of an unlocked entrance. Our cautious entry led to a chilling encounter. In the dimly lit apartment, we found ourselves face to face with a tall, agitated man. He introduced himself as Emily's ex-husband, Samuel, and asserted his presence in the apartment was to recover possessions he believed Emily had taken during their recent divorce. Tensions escalated rapidly as Samuel's demeanor grew more menacing. In a horrifying twist of events, Samuel forcibly locked us inside a closet. There, we sat in silence, our hearts pounding, while the sounds of Samuel rummaging through Emily's personal space echoed around us. Fear gripped us tightly, and thoughts of our safety consumed our minds. The only lifeline we had was the smartphone nestled in my pocket. Silently and discreetly, I used the phone's emergency feature to alert the authorities to our harrowing predicament. All the while, Samuel's threats and aggressive behavior escalated, plunging us deeper into a state of perpetual dread. It felt like an eternity as we waited for help to arrive, the minutes stretching out agonizingly. Finally, the welcome sound of sirens filled the air as the police arrived at the scene. A tense confrontation unfolded, during which the authorities skillfully managed to apprehend Samuel. Once we were freed from the confines of the closet, we received the reassuring news that Emily was safe and that the intruder was now in police custody. Hey guys, Dark Tales Library here. I just wanted to say a big thank you for making it to the end of the video. It means a lot. And if you liked it, please consider subscribing. It helps out more than you know and also tells me what you guys like and want to see more of. Thanks again.